Hey guys, welcome back. It's Friday morning, 11 o'clock in the morning. And we're here. Karen is in the house.
In the house.
And we are just now logging on the social media. Now, we're going to be answering your questions. There's a number if you want to call in. It's 866 561, I can barely see this, 42, what does it say?
4292.
4292. It's like in the lightest gray I've ever seen in my life. Now, guys, if there's any of the questions that you have, if it's related to any medical questions, my answers are not meant to diagnose you or give you any medical opinions. This is just between you and your doctor. It's just for research for you to investigate with the help of your doctor. Okay, guys? All right. With that being said, we're going to jump right on the call. Sandra from Texas. Sandra, are you there?
Hi, this is Sandra speaking through a sign language interpreter.
Great. Hi, what's your question?
Okay, well, I'm curious about what types of food to eat for my diet, things that are going to help me. I'm 70 years old, and I want to lose the fat around my stomach area.
Okay, well, do you have about an hour and a half? So Sandra, there's a couple things that we're going to be talking about as we go through here, but the big point is that that's quite a large answer. So the best thing to do is to go to my site, drberg.com, and under mini course, there's a little quiz, how to do keto, and it explains the whole eating plan for healthy ketosis and intermittent fasting, because I will have time to answer quick questions, but we're assuming everyone kind of knows the basics. But as far as foods, it's like that's a very long answer. But just go take that mini course, and that will help you kind of get started. All right. Thanks, Sandra. All right. We're going to go to Kim Miha from Louisiana. Are you there? Kim Miha? All right. You're not there? Okay. We'll come back to you. Okay? All right. How about Mariah from Puerto Rico? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah,
great.
There we go.
All right. So
I'm at the end.
Go ahead.
So I'm at the end of a 4-day fast. What are your thoughts on using infrared sauna while fasting? And are there any nutrient supplements I should take while fasting?
Good question. No, I think the saunas are awesome. It'll actually really help. A couple things that it will do. It'll actually push a lot of toxic stuff out of your body. And I found too, when you sweat, you actually you get rid of some of the minerals. So you just have to start putting it back in as far as the electrolytes. The thing with fasting though, when you're doing fasting, there's two main categories of nutrients that you want to make sure you have enough of. One is all the electrolytes. I have a really good electrolyte powder, which I recently found is also really good for sleeping if you take it before bed. I didn't even know that until last night. So I just tried it and it really helped. But you want a good electrolyte powder, but you also want the B vitamins. I recommend a nutritional yeast, unfortified, because that will give you all the natural B vitamins. And that way, when you're actually fasting, you're in the ketosis, and your body's going to be using more of these minerals and B vitamins in this process of burning fat, and then you'll replenish the nutrients from the sauna, pulling it out. And one more thing, you need more sea salt, especially if you're doing fasting and, of course, keto, because one thing that I think people don't realize is how much sodium is lost when you do this. And because if you're doing fasting and your sauna and you start feeling dizzy and you get up and you feel disoriented, or you feel like you have muscle weakness or fatigue, chances are you just need more sea salt. Okay?
Got it. Thank you so much, Dr. Berg.
You're welcome. Have a great one. Okay, so Karen.
Yeah.
Where do we have people on social media from? What locations? I can't even speak to that.
Take two.
Take two. Okay, Karen.
Hey.
Hey, where are people calling from, or contacting us from?
Take three.
All right, Karen.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Where's the locations? Go ahead.
Today we have people from, our daughter's calling us. I'm going to have to take that later. From all over the United States, Florida, Massachusetts, Nevada, and then we have Canada, Cambodia, the Bahamas, South Africa, Greece, Belgium, the UK, and that's what we got going
Cambodia?
on. Cambodia.
That's incredible. I don't think we've ever had anyone from Cambodia.
No, I've never seen. Welcome, Cambodia.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
You want a question?
Do you have one?
I have lots of questions. So someone is asking, does intermittent fasting increase uric acid? So you've talked before about keto and uric acid. Does intermittent fasting, and what can you do about it?
Yeah, if you're doing healthy keto and you're doing intermittent fasting, you're going to have probably a little bit more uric acid usually, especially if someone is kind of prone to gout and they have a problem with the kidney or the liver. So it's not a problem. It's not a problem because uric acid, by the way, Karen, can act as an antioxidant. But you didn't know that one.
Say that one more time.
Uric acid can act as an antioxidant. Yeah, food for thought there. You can chew on that for a while.
I'm going to chew on that one for a while.
Yeah, but if the uric acid actually becomes too high, it can end up in gout or uric acid kidney stones. The way to solve this is this. And this is kind of one of the things I was going to bring up a little bit later, but I'll bring up a little bit of it now. We're going to cover like the top biggest, most common mistakes with keto and intermittent fasting. But one of the things is actually having too much protein. Okay. Because if you have too much protein, you can actually dump more byproduct of that, which is uric acid, and that can actually create a problem. The best way to counter uric acid is to alkalize or cut down the protein, and you take some lemon juice. The electrolyte powder has a lot of potassium citrate, which actually helps counter uric acid. So anytime people have gout or uric acid crystals, we want to alkalize the body. So we want to alkalize with the more vegetables. Lemon water would be good, and of course potassium citrate, which is electrolyte powder. Those are some things you want to do.
Okay, good.
All right?
So by the way, since then we've had Texas, Tennessee, New York City, Malaysia, Afghanistan. Yes, they're just popping in all over the place. So tell me this though, can I do one meal a day if I am doing serious workouts and weight training?
Good question, Karen, and it really depends on your recovery. If you're adapted, I think it's a real good idea to work out when you're in a fasting state, because your body's just going to start tapping into fat. But in the beginning, if you're not adapted, you could actually end up with low blood sugars and feel weak. And if that's the case, then you have to work around your eating window. But no, we want you to work out in the fasting state. It's actually going to help you because you're going to drop the insulin thing and you're going to lose more weight, that's for sure. So, okay, let's say, for example, I know you're going to ask this next question. Let's say someone wants to gain more muscle mass, okay, and they're doing fasting. Is it going to cause a problem? I'm just predicting your questions as you don't even have to ask them anymore. I just predict them. Here's a little point about that, because a lot of times people do what's called carbo loading, and they're just dumping a lot of carbs in there because carbohydrates stimulate insulin, and insulin helps grow muscle. But the problem is if you have insulin resistance, that's not going to work. So one thing you can do as you adapt to keto, if you want to kind of do a mini version of this, you just basically bring your carb up to about 50 grams a day. So instead of doing real low carb, just go up to 50 carbs a day, and maybe even work out around that period of time where you eat those carbs. Like maybe do some more berries. And I think that will actually assist you a little bit more if you wanted to kind of, optimize your insulin levels. Okay?
Okay, good.
All right.
Here's an interesting question.
I was waiting for an interesting one.
I know. Well, we've heard about the water fast and the dry fast and the egg fast and all of these different fasts.
Yeah.
Someone here is asking about a fat fast. I'm on that.
Okay. A fat
right
fast.
now.
So basically you're going to fast with fat.
My fat is fasting right now. It's like, and I'm cleaning my oven at the same time.
Okay. All right. All right,
Try
so
that one.
I'm going to basically, we're getting the cleaning lady outside the door right
The
now.
cleaning lady
Is outside
Uh-oh.
the door. So
Who's got the revolver?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to, I did a video on that. It was sort of funny, but I think
I think
it was
he crossed the line. He
Yeah.
crossed the line by shooting the cleaning lady, or pretending to shoot the
pretending,
cleaning.
yeah. So, yeah, if they could, they do this every single time I'm doing either a video or a show. They start cleaning.
She waits until you show up, and then she.
Or the blower down there, the leaf blower guy. He's always right outside. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
Steve.
good.
Got her.
So, what was the question?
Fat fast.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Honestly, I'm going to be brutally honest with that question.
Okay.
I don't have enough data to tell you, I think this camera here. I don't have enough data to give you an opinion because I don't have a lot of experience with fat fasting. Okay? All right, let's go to the next question. How was that?
I think you should get one from a caller.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next caller right now, which has actually been waiting for 22 minutes. Let's see if we, hey, Kim Meha, are you there yet?
I think you're saying that wrong.
Hello.
Hello, hi, finally got a
Dr.
hold of
Berg?
you. Hi.
Hi. I have a question about breathing while exercising. When I go to the gym and I'm on the treadmill, going fast, sprinting, my coach keeps telling us to breathe in from your nose and breathe out from your mouth, and that just doesn't give me enough air.
Right.
And I also think that it should be opposite. So I wanted to see what you think of that.
My thought is I think it's a very minor point in working out. It's like out of all the things that you're doing, I don't think that's going to be a really big thing to focus on. There's so many of these things out there that you hear that, oh, you should be breathing this or doing that. I'll give you an example of one, Karen. One way to lose weight, to burn more calories, is to, when you're watching TV at night, fidget as you're in the couch, fidgeting around more, so you actually are more active and you can burn more calories and lose more weight as you're eating popcorn. You know, all these little things, like it's so trivial. Or how about this one? To wait to actually look skinnier is to sit up tall. They've done studies on this. You sit up tall, you look skinnier. Like,
Well, looking skinnier, sure.
but all the things that you should
this
do
is
to
it.
focus.
To look skinnier, you have to suck in your cheeks.
Yeah, Kim, really, I think that's a minor thing. There are types of workouts, Kim, that you can obstruct, like hold your breath or obstruct your breathing, so you're forcing yourself to breathe, which actually expands your cardio for sure, but that's a whole different topic. So I would just breathe naturally how you would breathe to get enough air while you're working out. But thanks for your call.
Trust your judgment on
Yeah.
that one.
Thank you. But breathing is a good thing when you're working out.
Definitely breathe.
So continue to breathe. I need to take a call from California. Kwame is on the line. You had a question. Are you
Yeah,
there?
hi, Dr. Berg.
Hi.
This is Kwame.
Hi.
Yes, doctor. Yeah. So basically, my question is right now, I've been doing 3 meals on the keto. I've gone from 6 to 3,
Okay.
and then I'm still suffering in the morning, and then I can't skip a meal.
Okay. So
And the question is, so where?
right.
Go ahead.
So I have a question. Can you really quickly tell me what an average meal is? What do you eat?
Yeah. So in the morning will be 4 eggs, that's the omelet, and then I'll have like sardines, about 12 grams of protein, and then I'll add two avocados.
Okay. Is that for one meal?
That's for breakfast.
Okay. That's
Yeah, that's for one meal.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
breakfast. And then lunch will be about a quarter of a cauliflower, and then sardines or salmon, and then I'll do 2 avocados again.
Okay. Good. And for dinner?
Dinner will be the same thing, cauliflower, and then some greens, and then sardines or salmon, and then after that I'll do the 2 avocados, or maybe sometimes I'll add macadamia nuts just so that I will last longer.
Okay. So there's 2 things. I think you're on the right track. I think it's going to take more time, and you're smart at doing this over a period of time till your body adapts. You're still in the adaptation phase. For you to go from doing 3 meals and still having a hard time going from one meal to the next, all that tells us that you have probably some pretty severe insulin resistance. Okay. That being said, the real key to make this work is the first meal of the day after the fasting you do when you're sleeping. I think you're having too much protein. When you add, I would only do the eggs, okay, as far as protein, and I would add, instead of adding the sardines, I would add more fat, okay? Add more fat. That is what you're missing right now. And then as far as your avocados, you realize an avocado has about 800 milligrams of potassium. You need 4,700. So one of the things that you're missing is potassium. So I would add either a kale shake without sugar, just a bunch of kale and maybe some electrolyte powder in there just to sweeten it up without the stuff that has no sugar, or a bigger salad to get the potassium. The potassium is going to really help speed up the process of with your blood sugars, and you can go longer and longer. So I think just tweak it, give it a little more time, and I think you're going to do fine. But you're going at this at the right level, okay? And hey guys, a little bit later, we are going to give a free ticket away later. What? What's so funny? Are you laughing at me? Or laughing with me? What did I say?
No, it's not you. I just have this question for you.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Burning question. Yeah.
Oh, not that question, no. Go ahead. The remedy for eye bags?
Shabir wants to know, how can I control nightfall?
That's a very common problem nowadays. Nightfall is creeping up on us, and after the night spring comes, we'll have the nightfall.
I got it. There you go.
I don't how do we control nightfall? If I knew that, would I be sitting here right now?
You would be a millionaire if you knew that.
Yeah, I could not control nightfall.
Okay, here's a question. Isn't fat the hardest thing to digest for the liver, despite the energy source, health versus strength, and weight maintenance? I don't understand that second question, not gonna lie. But the first one, isn't fat the hardest thing for the liver to digest? True or false?
Well, it really depends on what kind of fat that you're talking about. There is a little truth to that because, especially when you're starting out and you're not adapted, if you're doing like primarily all saturated fats, it might take a while for you to break that down, but it's not really in the liver per se. It's in the small intestine where you have the gallbladder releasing the bile. So it could be a strain a little bit on the production of bile for that breakdown in the pancreas. So, you know, that's why the type of fat that you consume on this is important. One is the omega-3 fatty acids, and I think probably a real good source of protein/fat would be like salmon, because there's a real good ratio of omega-3, and that's fairly easy to digest. And then also the sardines, very easy to digest. But if you start adding a bunch of oil in there, it can strain the gallbladder more than the liver. So that is an important point. But as you get going, your system will adapt where it can break down this fat a lot better. Okay? You had another funny question. Go ahead. What was it?
No, I'm really enjoying the questions today. Why not turkey bacon?
Okay, so that brings up a can of worms. Turkey bacon is, first of all, it's
Why
hard.
not?
It's too lean. It's too lean. The leaner the protein, the higher the insulin spike. You want more of a fattier protein, ideally. This goes against, you know, what everyone says. But the other thing about turkey, Karen, is you're going to make sure you have a good source of turkey. Don't do the commercial. You're going to have to do like some organic turkey, higher quality, because the stuff they put in turkey and chicken, it's like I don't even want to go there. But I recently did a video on that, so I won't really talk about that again, but it's a much better source would be the grass-fed beef, and also eggs are a really good source, and fish. Grass-fed fish, how about that? If we could find a grass-fed fish.
I
don't think grass
fish
is fed to fish nowadays. It's mainly wild caught.
Right.
Okay.
I haven't seen a fish eat grass.
Not in the last couple weeks, at least. Hey, Mark, you're from Lake Monticello, Virginia. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Dr. Berg.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Berg.
I was going to
Hi.
say, wow, that doesn't sound like Mark.
Oh, actually, it's Mark and Della. Good morning, Karen, Dr. Berg.
Okay,
morning.
good morning.
So, Mark and I are huge fans. Thank you guys so much. Are loving the recipes you're putting on YouTube.
Good.
Awesome.
What we need help with is our naysayers. And then this morning when I turned on the news, they said that coconut oil is poison.
Oh, yeah, that's the newest one.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just talk about that.
They.
Right.
They.
Right.
Yeah.
I recently did a video on, of course, they just found out that low carbs will decrease your lifespan. So I just kind of did a video on that because I had to respond to that. Because, I mean, that's kind of a bummer because now we have to delete all of our videos. And we have to change. I have to change the book now. I have to take out that section. Now we're going to recommend higher carbs. We're going to do
You
more
have to put
breads
in
and pastas.
the plate.
What?
Your plate. The My Plate.
The My Plate. So we
My
have to
Plate.
add more grains to the diet. Because cattle actually is fed grains.
Yeah, Terry,
So it
our
must be
producer's
healthy.
really happy with that.
So so that was literally, I almost don't want to. I didn't want to respond to it, but it's in the news. I don't want to give these guys too much attention, but you have to realize that.
There's a lot of vested interests.
Yeah, well,
There's
that's
a lot of vested interest in you snacking and you having carbs and you having a cholesterol issue. And
every time you go low fat, you're going to go high carb. So they're trying to go after, coconut oil to put doubt. So now all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. It's the fat, blah blah blah. That's actually it's like, and I was thinking I saw some things on this recently. I says maybe I should do a video. I'm like, no, I'm not going to even. I don't think anyone believes that. But the point is that I had a point.
what's the point?
And it just escaped me.
The
But the point will come back.
I have a point. The point is you really have to, you're going to see a lot of this. As keto and intermittent fasting becomes more and more popular, you're going to see more quote unquote studies where they say all fat, resurrect the studies on fat and
Oh,
coconut.
my point came back.
Oh,
It came back. I just remembered
that's
before
awesome.
I forget.
So anyway, go ahead, say your point.
Okay, the point is this. Oh, now it's gone again.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it's here. Do you know where I get a lot of this material that I use in the videos on a daily basis? I get it from the news. And I basically find out what they're recommending and I do the exact opposite. And it seems to be truth. So whatever you hear as the mainstream news, it's completely, utterly false because they never get it right. So that's they. Someday I'll find out who they is.
Right.
But the point is that it's just literally hysterical. It's like comedy.
Right. The purpose of the news.
Watch it. Watch it.
Yeah. So the purpose of the news generally, this is generalization because not all news is like this, is to get you worrying. So when you hear studies now show, you have to do your own research. You have to, find out what's happening. But look, tons and tons and tons of people are doing their own research by following ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, and their blood levels are restoring. Their cholesterol is coming down. They're losing weight. They have more energy. They're remedying all kinds of problems just by changing this. So that's a study. That's a study that I'm watching.
Exactly. Right.
Right
My
here.
thoughts exactly. Okay, good. All right. So Alexandria from New Orleans is on the call and had a question about type 1 diabetes. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, doctor. My husband is diabetic since 20 years ago, and he has high blood pressure too. So I asked his doctor if I can introduce him to this keto diet, but his doctor called me crazy. So I want to hear a second opinion, please.
Yeah, so here's something, we know something for sure. If someone's like not recommending it, we know absolutely, positively, they do not even know what the word ketosis means. I'll guarantee that. They don't even know what the diet is. All they're thinking is what they hear from, some news station that coconut is dangerous. Here's what you do. You want to go to some of these medical doctors, like Dr. Westman's website, he's an MD. You want to go to Dr. Lang. Like there's all these different, Dr. Fung, and there's so many different doctors out there that are doing keto right now. DenverDoctor.com, who else? DietDoctor.com. There's all these medical doctors that you could probably work with because they have different membership sites, and you can work with these guys. So that way you have the medical opinion if you have a medical condition that really understand how to do this. Vera Health, you should look that up. It's a bunch of medical doctors who are getting unbelievable results with diabetics. And you need someone who, it's kind of like you wouldn't get advice from someone on children if they've never had children before, right? You want to find someone who has experience. So for you to ask your doctor about diet in general, they don't have the experience in food relating to the body. They're not trained in food therapy at all. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So what do we have for some questions coming down the pike here? Are you running out of questions yet?
No, but I am going to say that don't fret if your question isn't answered. You can take this question that you have and go to YouTube, the Dr. Berg channel, and put it in the search and find a video on it.
That's right.
There is an answer to pretty much every single question that I'm reading, including there was a comment that no one is talking about cognitive function on the web with keto and intermittent fasting, and that is just not the case.
Should we give them the secret link? Maybe not.
Is
Maybe
it
not
too
this time.
early?
No, not that secret link. The other secret link.
The secret link that's so secret. Maybe you forgot to tell me about it.
It's so secret, I don't even think I told you. But here's it. If you go to drberg.com/resources, okay, you will find one page that has every single YouTube video on keto and intermittent fasting that I've ever done in one page. I did tell you about that.
You did.
But
resources.
Right. drberg.com/resources. Check it out. Cognitive videos. I have a ton
Cholesterol.
Yeah.
How to not gain weight. How to not to lose any more weight on keto. What if you're pregnant? What if you're nursing?
How not to poison yourself with coconut oil.
How to live longer on keto despite what they say.
Despite a low-carb diet.
Despite the low-carb diet. Lots of videos on that. Okay, good.
The problem is it works so well that all they can do now is put little doubts in your mind, like, okay, we know that it does work, but we never have done studies long term. Like, okay, so it works short term, but not long term. Okay, so. Or how about this?
Well, what if you just stopped and then started short term, and you just kept doing that for 30 years?
I just saw this video on a dietitian who did a video about ketones and saying, well, we know that everyone who does ketosis will eventually go off track and swing in the other side and start gaining weight. So, it's just another fad. I'm like, what are you talking about? So it's just ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
You've been talking about it, though, for quite some time.
I need to go to Joanne from Maryland. Okay. She's been waiting for 27 minutes.
Is our neighbor.
Joanne, go ahead.
Oh, it is so nice to talk to you two. Good morning, Karen and Dr. Berg.
Good morning, Joanne.
I am over the moon to be on this call this morning. I've been following you two since May of this year. I stumbled on a lot of prayer, asking God to send me something, and I came across you guys. It's been a blessing to me. I am so nervous, my heart is pounding.
Breathe.
But that has been a new occurrence. But anyway, I'm doing well. I've been 8 weeks on keto. Well, I was doing well until 2 weeks ago. I have keto rash very, very badly. Had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I'm talking fast because I'm trying to get it in. I know other people are waiting. My blood results came back. Cholesterol is high. My doctor wants me to add back the cholesterol pill. She knows I'm not on my meds. She wasn't exactly excited about it, but she wasn't as mad as I thought she would be. She was asking me about the supplements I'm taking, and I ran them down to her, and she's like, what's adrenal? Adrenal cortisol support, and what's in it. So luckily for me, I have a vision problem, been taking vitamin A, thanks to your advice. Anyhow, the cholesterol, let me just give you the numbers. It's now LDL 359, HDL 52, triglycerides 125. The good news is my vitamin D level did go up. It went up from a 22 last checked in May to a 63.5 on your D3 and K2 supplement. And I got to honestly say, I've only been taking the vitamin D3 and K2, your supplement, for only a month. So, and I had been stopped taking the pharmaceutical vitamin D, so I know that had no impact. I actually told her that because she was all excited that her pill finally worked. No, it didn't. It didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. So, it was an interesting dialogue with her. Previously in May, my LDL was 147, HDL was 57, and triglycerides was 130.
Yeah. Okay.
So she wants me to add back this pill, and I'm confused, and I don't know what to do. And I bought Colon for keto rash. It's been a week on that, and not any real relief.
Okay. So here's what you do, John. For the keto rash, you need B vitamins. Whatever you're taking now, you might be taking them. Take more. Nutritional yeast, you're going to take more B vitamins. That should get rid of the keto rash. We've got to make sure also that your bowels are working good. There's no constipation, because that also can back up toxicity. If you still have keto rash after about 2 weeks of doing that, then it's really the toxins coming out of the fat, in which case you want to take something like bentonite clay on an empty stomach in between meals, okay? So that should handle that. Now, as far as this cholesterol thing, I hope you can make it to the Keto Healthy Summit, which is in Maryland, by the way, right down the street.
You have no excuse.
Yeah, because let me tell you why. Dave Feldman, who is awesome, he's going to be covering this cholesterol confusion to the nth degree. You're going to fully understand what's going on. Your cholesterol is supposed to go up. Your triglycerides are supposed to go up when you do this, because guess what's in a fat cell? Triglycerides and cholesterol. How are we going to get that out? Well, finally, you're finally burning fat. It's going to be coming out. It's going to have to come out through the liver. It's going to increase in the bloodstream. There's no other way. Like, this whole concept of you're finally tapping into your fat. An average person never really taps into their fat. So as the fat cell shrinks, it has to get rid of this stuff. So you really got to look at the context of what's going on. A much better test to focus on is your fasting insulin, if you really want to know. That's probably greatly improved. And also the calcium scoring test on your heart. Like, do that test, and then that'll actually give you a much better indication of your heart. But hope you can make it to the summit, and love to meet you, Joanne, and thanks for your question. All right.
Okay. So I have Glenn on YouTube, and he threw in a comment here that you changed your viewpoint on
What?
I know. On whole fat, organic, unsweetened probiotic yogurt.
Whole fat.
Unsweetened probiotic yogurt.
Yeah.
Now I have some.
What did I change it to?
Glenn did not mention that. Glenn,
Oh, okay.
now you got me in the hot seat. I'm assuming Glenn is saying that now you're in favor of it, and I have information because my house is a laboratory.
Yeah.
And right now there's
yogurt, a lot of yogurt makers
being
around.
cultured in the kitchen.
So let me just clarify this point.
Okay.
And I'm constantly experimenting things to see what works, what doesn't work. As far as yogurt, it has too much sugar, so we don't want to recommend it. So there's another yogurt you can make. It's a 24-hour yogurt under low heats that deletes all the lactose. So you can have like a sugar-free yogurt. And that's what we're making now, which is great. It's great. But here's the thing with yogurt and even cheese. You can overdo it. You could overdo it, especially because there's even though it's hormone-free, it's still it comes from a pregnant cow. So you actually could elevate hormones by just because it's a milk product. So you have to be careful not to overdo it with the dairy, especially for men with concern about prostate stuff or you're at risk for cancer, just because it's kind of a hormonal thing. So a small amount is fine. Make sure it's grass-fed. But I will be doing this video on this yogurt, which, by the way, is quite delicious, wouldn't you say? No, she doesn't like it.
It is
It's
like
sour.
sucking
A lemon.
a lemon, like the lemoniest lemon.
That's because I added lemon to it. No, I didn't.
It's
It's
very,
tart.
it is beyond tart. It is the tartiest.
I love it. I
Tart.
love that tart.
I can't eat it.
I like sour yogurt with not sweet. I love that.
Well, I don't like it sweet, but I don't like it tart ever.
Okay.
So maybe if there was stevia added or something.
We'll put some sugar in it and see what happens.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Hey,
so-
by the way, the United Arab Emirates is on board right now. Slovenia, Japan,
Slovenia is. I
London.
was waiting for them to come by.
Well, they showed up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's go to Vancouver with Susan.
Okay, I like that. Like we're going to Vancouver.
We're going to Vancouver. Hi,
We
Susan.
are now in Vancouver.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi.
Yeah, I have a question about inositol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started taking it last week, and I have a blood pressure machine because I have had high blood pressure, so I check it twice a day. And I went from 115/65 all the way up to 160/90. So I stopped it today to see if it goes back the other way. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay. So are you on keto and intermittent fasting yet?
Yes, since July 7th. Yeah.
Okay. And then you're taking inositol?
Yes, I started it last week.
Yeah, inositol is it's actually like a sweet vitamin. It's very similar to glucose, but it's not glucose. It's one of the B vitamins. It actually helps burn fat. It's good for a lot of things. Ovarian health. It's good for blood sugars. But I think that's going to be not the big thing that's going to help you with the blood pressure. And again, I'm just going to give you some advice for you and your medical doctor to do research on. I'm not telling you to do this, but for blood pressure, I always recommend looking in the area of a lot more potassium, hint, hint, electrolyte powder. Also, the other thing...
It's not a hint when you say it.
Oh, okay. Potassium, how about that? Is that better?
No, it was the electrolyte powder. Never mind.
Potassium powder. Okay, so the other thing is that when you do longer term fasting, if you can go 1 meal a day, maybe you're doing that already, maybe you're not, that will greatly, greatly help your blood pressure. And just give it more time. That's really what I would focus on if I were you. But thanks for your call, Susan.
Okay, so we have also Jordan, Australia, New Zealand, Washington State,
Awesome. That's where
Bahrain.
I lived in Washington State.
I know.
Linwood.
I
Did
know.
I ever tell you that?
I think this comes up every week when someone.
It rained a little bit too much, but it was beautiful.
Right. It's rainy there.
Not like in Virginia.
In Virginia, where it's been raining.
Every day.
Every single day of this summer.
Yeah. So why don't you give me another question? A simple one, this one. Something that I actually know how to answer.
Know the answer to? Okay, so there was a really good one here, but you know, they're flying in so fast. Let's see. Let me find it because I liked it.
Okay, while you're looking for that, I will go right to Emily.
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
My MD says that keto will, I'm assuming the word is cause, blood sugar issues in the long run, because once my cell absorbs fat, once my cell absorbs fat as part of the keto diet, they won't be able to absorb sugar, and it will cause more sugar in the bloodstream. I'm not buying what she says, but can you respond?
Do I have to? Now, okay, so here's the thing. This is just another
This is a medical doctor.
This is another thing that I think that falls back on what we're going to be talking about at the summit. There's this gross misunderstanding about how insulin works. Keto and IF, as a primary goal, lower the dominating hormone that makes us fat, which is insulin. So for someone to say that keto long-term will increase your blood sugars has just a severe misunderstanding about this. I mean, we're working with tens of thousands of people. We get probably 10 success stories a day coming in on the site, and people that are losing weight, blood sugars are great. I mean, over and over and over. I don't even think it was one time it didn't work. So it's this ridiculous. So here's the thing. Anyone can say anything about anything, and it doesn't make it true. And just because someone graduated from some university with a degree doesn't also make it true. You have to see what they're saying. So anyway, the truth is in results. What I would do if I were you, I would do this and then see what they say, see what they advise. If you want, do it their way for a month and see which way works better. And that way you know for sure. Because they're going to say, well, you need more carbs to lower your blood sugar. I'm like, what? Because keto is low carb. So why would we go high carb to lower blood sugar? That's like, let's put gasoline on the fuel to actually put it out.
Right. Just another note, a lot of people are commenting on this report. They say coconut oil is poison. We already talked about that.
Am I going to have to do a video on that?
You're going to probably have to do a video on that.
All right, I'll do a video on that.
They say a lot of things.
I think you guys watch too much news.
I think you probably watched it. You have to turn the news off for a week and see how you feel.
Yeah.
That's a dare.
I will bet you anything next week they're going to say avocados now have been found to cause cancer. And too much
sea
salad
salt is deadly.
is going to deplete you of iodine or something like that.
Right. Right.
Okay. Hey, Emily, you're from Hilton Head, South Carolina. You had a question. Go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you guys for everything. You've really helped transform my life, and all of my family and friends are all doing keto and intermittent fasting, and it's wonderful.
Awesome.
So praise Jesus for you guys. But my husband and I are trying to conceive a baby, and I was wondering and I saw your video briefly on keto during breastfeeding and everything, but would you say keto and or intermittent fasting is safe or good for pregnancy?
Good question. I'm going to be doing a live event on this topic. I probably would not do anything crazy with intermittent fasting. I would do 3 meals a day, and that's the version of intermittent fasting I would do. And then I would do healthy keto. It's totally important to do that because, you're recommending all the fat-soluble vitamins, healthy fats, because if you do this, if you go low fat when you're trying to get pregnant, probably you're going to become infertile. The size of the infant's brain is correlated too with trace minerals like iodine and also the amount of sugar. So if women are doing high sugar going into a pregnancy, it can create atrophy and even a high risk factors for getting diabetes. So yes, keto is the healthiest thing to grow a healthy baby and make sure you're fertile. In fact, in our office.
Can I mention how many women that you've gotten pregnant?
Right, yeah, just mention that.
This is potentially a sore subject, but not really. He's gotten a lot of women pregnant.
That sounds really
I
great,
know that
Karen,
sounds bad.
But it's for a good cause.
But it's true.
Yeah, now let me just do a caveat on that. It was all diet advice, okay, diet advice, and that was it, okay? But it was amazing because we had so many women that came in, changed their eating plan, they got pregnant like that. In fact, we had people from Saudi Arabia fly in, high levels of infertility, come in, get pregnant. I mean, it's just, so fertility has a lot to do with your diet. And so eating keto, healthy version of that is what you want to do. But thanks for your call. All right, so what do we got?
Okay, someone from Russia. I'd love to know how to say your name. I love to listen.
Go ahead and give it a shot,
to
Karen.
Russian people.
Give it a shot.
Speak Russian. I love it. That's.
Kopropia.
I think it's Iukpunya.
No, I'm right. Okay. Well, what's the question?
So you should call in from Russia, so that we can hear you speak. Good day, Dr. Berg from Russia. There's not many studies in Russia about keto. Question is, can I use the keto diet if I have congenital folded gallbladder? That's a question you've never had before.
No, I haven't even heard of a folded gallbladder. But I will say that in general, keto and IF are really, really good, especially IF, intermittent fasting for the gallbladder, because you're giving the gallbladder a chance to heal. And the entire digestive system works under something. This is a new word, guys. I don't want to geek out on you, but it's called the parasympathetic nervous system.
Geek.
That's rest and digest. Okay, so you can improve the digestion by not feeding it every hour and a half. And then it can actually finally rejuvenate, heal. In fact, I'm going to be doing a webinar coming up on intermittent fasting and the benefits of that. I'm going to be talking about stem cells, which is a whole new thing, and about anti-aging.
Can of worms.
Stem cells, those are undifferentiated cells. Those are cells that don't have a purpose yet, that have to turn into. All right, anyway, come to the webinar and you'll learn about it.
The webinar?
It's
the summit?
No, it's a live webinar that I'm going to do that you can check it out. But of course, at the summit, we're going to extensively talk about it.
Okay, good.
All right.
Okay, good. So,
I'm going to go to, while you're looking at that.
I mean, I think it's your turn.
Okay.
I think you must have a caller.
Shaylee's from Pennsylvania, you had a question.
Pennsylvania.
Hi there, Dr. Berg and Karen.
Hello.
Hi.
I am a huge fan of you. The research that you do and your videos have helped me tremendously in my keto journey.
Awesome.
I started keto in April of this year, and since then I've lost 23 pounds.
Yay.
I was trying to focus. I was trying to focus mainly on like keeping the weight off, not so much losing additional pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started like intermittent fasting. I've been learning a lot and applying a lot and sharing what I know with those interested in knowing what I'm doing. I recently had my physical, and I was excited when my lab results came back perfect. It was like passing a test with flying colors. I'm originally from Panama, and a lot of information about the ketogenic diet is just not available there. My best friend from Panama was recently diagnosed with high cholesterol, and as she has shared with me, in her case, it's hereditary, so it's not necessarily based on what she eats.
Right.
Her doctor then placed her on a low to no fat diet, and I doubt he knows what keto is. So when I shared, my keto journey with her, and she shared that with her doctor, I don't think that, flew with him. So my question is it possible to have hereditary high cholesterol and get on the ketogenic diet and hopefully get good results? Would this change, would this change her condition, resulting in a reduced cholesterol?
Well, that's a really good question. I did an interview with a guy who had hereditary high cholesterol, and he did this same thing, and his cholesterol went up, and then as he lost weight, it started coming down to normal levels. So that was like quite amazing. There's going to be more and more research on this, but here's the thing that I would recommend that you focus on. I would recommend that you focus on and telling her to lowering the carbohydrates, because when you lower carbohydrates, you instantly drop the cholesterol. And so I hope maybe even you, since you're close to Virginia, can come down to the summit, or even have her come up, because we will be covering this topic hardcore at the summit. So, and then all your questions will be answered. But the short answer is it's not going to be a bad thing to do at all, because you're going to drop your carbs, and there's been some great success even with hereditary type problems with cholesterol. But thanks for your call. All right. So, yeah. What?
Tara picked a...
What's that?
What?
Are you?
Okay.
Did we pick a winner?
Carrie picked a winner.
Okay, guys, so listen, we just picked a random winner for the Keto Summit, the Healthy Keto Summit coming October. This is exciting. And the winner is Joanne Cook.
From Maryland. The
Yes.
person that yeah.
Awesome.
You said we'd see her at the summit.
You didn't
realize.
Is this the person that we talked to?
Yeah.
Oh, it's finally connecting. I'm connecting the dots. This is awesome. This is awesome. Well, this is exciting. I can't wait to see her there in person.
There you go.
Okay, very good.
Done.
All right.
So
Good.
Joanne. Oh, we have your email. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now.
Now what? I feel like we're wandering.
We're wandering without a plan of action. That's why we have to rehearse these and script it out more and drill it, which is completely unscripted. So I want to go to, while you're trying to sort out all this, I'm going to go to Adriana from Aurora, Colorado. You had a question. Go ahead.
So I've been doing keto for 2.5 months, and I have lost my menstruation.
And you're complaining about that?
And
No.
I know I've heard, I've heard that maybe I need to add fats to my diet, but then I also want to lose weight, so I'm kind of in the middle of what should I do?
Right. So have you had other benefits that were positive?
I have lost a lot of inches.
Okay.
I feel really good.
Okay, good.
But then I also want to conceive
Okay. So yeah, what you want to
a
do,
child. So.
what you want to do is you want to start to add more, not just regular fat. You want to add high quality of fats. You want to add a good amount of omega-3 fatty acids. There's other fat called DHA. I would do a virgin cod liver oil. I would, so we just need to go up with the fats. One of the things that happens, and this is temporary too when you do this, especially when you're adding intermittent fasting, your body, it's a kind of like a stress, but it's a good stress. So because you're like starving it, but the body starts changing these pathways, these metabolic pathways to repair and rejuvenation. And sometimes it changes the pathways from reproduction to more these pathways over here. So I think it's a temporary thing. I think you just need to keep going, add more fat. Because even like people complain of getting cold on intermittent fasting, and they think, oh my gosh, my thyroid is now becoming diseased. This is bad for the endocrine system. No, this is not bad at all, because if you check your pituitary hormones for thyroid, thyroid stimulating hormone, nearly all the time it'll be normal. And that's how they diagnose a slow thyroid. So what's really happening is your body is adapting and shifting, and you're not needing, it's becoming more efficient. You're not needing as much energy for certain endocrine hormones and things like that. So there is definitely a shift. I would add more fat. And then maybe even if you're at really, really low carbs, go up a little bit more, but just don't go over 50 grams, okay? And I think you're going to be fine. But good question. We are going to be discussing the endocrine system in relationship to intermittent fasting and healthy ketosis at the summit.
That's good, because probably a lot of people think about the endocrine system.
It's an interesting topic to me, right? So as long as I'm interested.
What
right?
is the endocrine system?
What is the endocrine system? Karen, if I knew that, would I be sitting here right now? Now, the endocrine system is a series of glands that send hormones between them. It's the superior communication system of the body, even more superior than the nervous system. And so basically it's a bunch of little things that are talking and a bunch of little things that are listening. Okay, that's all you need to know.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any questions?
No, but Surakaran says, please tell Dr. Berg that we blanking love him.
Well, I blank and love you too.
With a lot of hearts after that. Blanking love back at you.
Yes.
Okay, good. There's so many questions.
Well, while you're looking for one, I want to go to Erica.
You
She's been
say
waiting.
that all the time.
Well, you got to be right quick. So, hey,
I
Erica.
thought the love was more important.
Hey, yes, good morning. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Hi. What was your question?
Hi. I have high blood pressure and I am type 2 diabetic.
Uh-huh.
And I've been on the ketogenic diet for about, I'll say now, 5 to 6. I think this will be the 6th week.
Okay.
And I've been experiencing a lot of brain fog throughout the day, and it was persistent the last. It's like not a mental clarity. I can't explain it because I've never felt it before. It's kind of spaced out kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to go about that, being that I have high blood pressure, which is recently diagnosed while I was doing the ketogenic diet.
So
how do I up my? I've heard that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you noticed any changes in your blood sugars doing this?
Absolutely, yes. I did, what they normally tell you to do with the wheats and the grains and all that.
Uh-huh.
But those were in the 200 ranges. But now, like, I feel good when my body's at 80. My fasting glucose is about 79, 80.
Wow. And are you on medication?
And throughout the day, no, they took me off within 2 weeks that I started keto. They took me off of it. They took me off.
Awesome.
Wow. Okay, good. So here's what you do, Erica, and I like your name, Erica, by the way. So again, this is information to share with you and your doctor to do research. I'm not telling you to do this. Hint, hint. Here's what you do. You need more potassium and B vitamins. The brain fog is the B vitamins. The blood pressure is potassium. If you've been a diabetic, we know for a fact that you have been depleted of B1 and potassium big time. So you need to put back large amounts of those two things. I like the electrolyte powder, and I also like the nutritional yeast tablets. And those two together, I think, will bring you out of that fog, and that will support blood sugars. Well, I wouldn't do the sea salt until her blood pressure's down, but I wouldn't be afraid of it. I would do the potassium right now, hardcore, and I think that's going to help you. So do that, and let's see what happens. All right, good. Okay, Karen. So.
So what if you had frozen shoulder?
Yeah. What if you had it? What's
That was
the question?
the whole question. No, I think the question is, can keto or IF help frozen shoulder?
Honestly,
not that you would ever say anything that anything could cure anything.
Yeah. Honestly, I've not seen a big connection with that. There might be. I just have not, because I'm not in practice anymore. I don't see that, and I haven't looked for it. There's a possibility there's a connection. I know there's other theories about it, but it does take, and I've done a video on frozen shoulder, some techniques to help, but I don't have enough data to tell you for sure. So can you give me an easier question that I might know?
Okay, here's when you're going to love this one.
Good. Hopefully
Dr.
it's
Berg,
easy.
I'm told I need to have fruits in my diet. This is from Violet. She was probably told by they.
All right, let's just...
Wait. I'm healing a non-alcoholic liver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I cut them out.
Right, exactly. It makes sense because fructose has another little pathway that goes through the liver, and it can act just like alcohol on liver function. So that's why you don't want to have, if you have a liver problem, you don't want to do fruit or fructose. Now, fruit, by the way, guys, we're going to do an experiment, okay? We're going to do an experiment with people that have normal blood sugars and people that don't. And what we're going to do is we're going to have them eat a couple pieces of fruit. And then we're going to have them the next day eat a couple candy bars. And we're going to show you how much fruit will spike the blood sugars.
When you say that and you're pointing at me, who are you thinking is going to do that?
You're the guinea pig. You didn't know? I didn't tell you yet? I didn't give you the memo? All right, well, we'll talk about this later. But what happens, fruit will spike your blood sugar and it'll totally keep you out of keto. I don't recommend fruit. I really don't. And especially the hybrid, it's just really loaded with sugar. Some berries, it's fine, but the fructose in fruit is pretty bad for blood sugars.
And also agave, right?
That's even worse. It's like worse than table sugar because it's 98% fructose, which is way more deadly than glucose. I did a video on that, Karen, if you wanted to see that.
Okay.
All right. So, Emily, you're from Temple, Texas. Go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah. I had radiation for cancer in 1992. It's been a long time. And I fixed all of my other problems. Like I had adrenal symptoms and all that, retook the quiz, and I just have thyroid symptoms. My thyroid gland was in the radiation field, my pituitary, my hypothalamus, all in the radiation field for the cancer. But here we are 20 years out, and I really would like to get off of the thyroid medication because I feel like it's not doing me any good. And at this point, my thyroid should have healed from that. I wanted to know, I found a doctor that will help me through that, but I kind of wanted to know what to look for as far as if it's not working and I need to continue the medication, and what to look for as far as if it is working and we can continue, because my doctor's never done this. She's like, well, we can try it.
Right.
But,
Well, I think what you need is you just need some tips on things to do to get it in a healing mode right now.
Yeah.
And so there's 3 things that you want to do. Number 1, seek help, seek help, seek help. And then number 2, cruciferous, even though it does tend to deplete iodine, but you don't have to worry about that because you're taking the seek help to replace it. So because the cruciferous is going to repair damage from radiation. And then the third thing is some pretty hardcore intermittent fasting. Why? Because intermittent fasting has the potential to increase stem cells, which actually can help repair. And not just that, it can actually do a lot of other things that we're going to talk about at the Summit Day. Guys, go to ketohealthsummit.com because we're going to be at the summit. It's going to be awesome. October.
We're both going to go.
We're going to show up.
We're going.
We're going to show up. We might make an appearance. But yeah, it's going to be a blast. Perfect time of the year, the fall.
The fall.
And filled with information that
Terry's
you need to know.
Wave at Terry.
Hey, Terry, what does he want?
Hi, Terry. Hi, Terry. He's flapping. Oh, now he's circling.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means have a great Friday, and
Have
we'll
a great
see you
weekend,
next week,
and
guys.
next week, keto on.